Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here in the session on setting up an offshore customer experience team. My name is Bharti, and I will be your moderator for the session today. So, you all know customer experience is a differentiating factor in your business success, and it is very important to retain customers and build brand loyalty. So, today's session will be focused on customer experience, how to set up an offshore customer experience team, and what are the steps involved in it. Before I introduce our eminent speaker, I would like to remind all of you that you have the chat option to send your questions to us. We would love to take up your questions at the end of the webinar. So stay tuned in till right the end. So now it's time to introduce our speaker for the event today, Ms. Reshma Nigam. She is the CEO and founder of My Customer 360, a customer management firm that offers customer management solutions with customer success, customer service, and customer support. Before that, she founded Markable Solutions, a B2B marketing company headquartered in the Silicon Valley. Reshma is known for her interesting personality and passion for helping businesses to scale rapidly with innovative solutions. And My Customer 360 is the latest example of that. So let's get started and invite Ms. Reshma Nigam. Reshma, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our exclusive webinar on how to set up an offshore team. As Bharti mentioned, I'm Reshma. This is the third of our series on customers management that we are hosting. We are hosting one every other month, and we hope you'll join the future ones also. As she mentioned, I am CEO and founder of My Customer 360, a customer management company specializing in offering end-to-end customer management services. You already know about customer support. There is customer success, which is proactively reaching out to your customers, and customer expansion, where you start reselling, cross-selling, and upselling to your customers. And all this is being done for several companies that we manage offshore. So thank you for being here. I promise that it will be an insightful session that will change your outlook towards customer management and customer experience in particular. And so let's dive right in. So according to Salesforce, which is one of the largest CRM companies, 88% of buyers say that experience matters in as much a way as a company's products and services. You understand that customer experience is becoming as important as buying a product or selling a product. Customers say that customer service impacts their buying decision, their brand loyalties, and 64% of leaders say that customer service improves customer relations and customer retention. In today's world where barriers to entry are getting lower and lower, customer retention, especially with software companies, has become a real problem. Before you know it, someone else comes up with something, maybe a little better, maybe just a also ran kind of a product. But before you know it, they are running away with it and your customers are gone. So how do you retain them? How do you make sure that the brand loyalty exists and that when people copy your product or they come up with other similar but very close solutions, how do you keep them going? These numbers that I just mentioned and more findings suggest that customer experience is very valuable to the success of a business. And today we are going to first start by talking a little bit about customer service, customer expectations, just to set the stage. And then I will delve right into how I have started customer service offshoring for many, many years. In fact, I started my first offshore business in 2002, where we were doing more reaching out to customers from the offshore facility. And that led us to experience extreme high growth, and we moved on, morphed into more higher end services where we were setting up appointments, doing some selling, and then we realized that as soon as we were setting appointments and selling, our client companies were losing customers. That's when I started our facility in Manila for more based on customer service, solution, upselling, cross-selling, and setting up units for companies there. So I very fast realized that the customer experience is very critical in retaining trust and building brand loyalty. And this trust starts right from the beginning. Like, who better to service your clients than the person who's been maintaining contacts with them, generating leads, bringing more and more people involved, nurturing them till they're ready to buy. And once they buy a product, who better than us to continue with this relationship by maintaining a relationship, um, making sure that whatever problems they have is resolved through customer support, and then establishing a customer success team that maintains the relationship in a similar way, in the same nurturing fashion as we did pre-sales, and then learn so much about them and retain the relationships and get into the client side so much that if there is a change or it's time to sell, upsell, or we have a new product line coming, they'll first think of us rather than going to somebody else. So loyalty and trust has become critical. Today, we will discuss how you can deliver superior customer experiences with the help of an offshore team. And why do we want an offshore team? Because it's very difficult and very expensive to have a unit here in the US. And that is a reality, despite the fact that there is unemployment and we need more people to get into the workforce. When it comes to staying competitive price wise, we can't afford to do these things. When I started when I first started in the Philippines, I went with the offshore model. I started a company, hooked up with a company in the Philippines that was renowned for this, well known in the Southeast Asian countries for providing superior services. They did everything for me. They registered the company, they hired the employees were under their name. Now, their name carried more weight than my small company would have in the Philippines. We hired the people, we did no HR, we interviewed them, of course, made sure that the management was done by us, but everything related to the organization was done by this company. And when we became very familiar with the country and realized that we can do this entirely on our own, this company was gracious enough to transfer the company to us. So now our employees are under our name, our banner. They're our employees. We hire them, fire them, train them, everything. And we offer the same service to our clients, which is what makes it most interesting. We have the bot model, which is when you start a company, we'll build it for you. When you want to start a unit, we'll build it for you, we'll operate it for you. When you're ready to transfer, we will transfer on to you. In fact, we are just doing one for a company, a healthcare wellness program, where we owned them for 5 years. We set up everything from interviewing them. We had all kinds of people hired there. We had people who were wellness experts. They were nutritionists who were getting calls from here and they were training people there. They were highly trained individuals with degrees from the US who had gone back to their country. And we had a thriving organization. But this company also grew thanks to us. And now their investors want them to have everything in-house before they do an IPO or their exit strategy. So that's when we felt very proud and we were very happy. And of course, it was in the contract. It wasn't as though we were doing any social service. As an organization, we also made money and we've transferred the team. And I think in February is when they first started operating on their own. And we are there to help them along. So these are some of the kind of experiences that come up when you're doing a organization like this. And so before I delve right into it, let me tell you, let me ask you and sort of have a discussion here about why is customer service so important? Because it's no longer a differentiator, it's become a necessity. The competition is too high, and we all crave the customer's attention, everybody. How many times can a customer talk to so many people, right? So 58% of our customers say that they would switch to a competitor after a bad customer experience. And we all know that. You go to a restaurant, you don't like it, bad experience, you never come back again, and you spread the word. This works in business also. 86% of consumers say that showing empathy is powerful in building a solid foundation, a solid relationship with the brand. And 80% of consumers are likelier to buy from a brand that offers personalized experiences. The moral of the story is that if you don't invest in streamlining your customer service, making it adaptive to your customers' needs, you'll be unable to meet your customers' expectations and lose them to your competitors. Now, you don't want to lose them after having uh, so much after having done so much, made so much effort to acquire them. I mean, acquiring customers is a real challenge. If you don't acquire them and are not able to retain them by, yes, spending some money, but the cost of acquisition, as we know, is much higher than the cost of retention ever will be. And that is why offshoring becomes important, because it is so affordable and so easy to do, and it's almost like a plug and play. So, taking this story further, assuming that we have all the best to offer our customers, so why do they not stay loyal to the brand? Because despite providing the best products and services, what needs to be improved is their experience interacting with our brand. The solution is to enhance your customer experience and offer high customer satisfaction. Companies are constantly seeking new strategies to improve this satisfaction level. And one powerful technique is to set up an offshore customer experience team where you can hire more people for the price of one. And it's it's out of your hands. They manage it, they train the people, there's continuity. You don't have to do the nitty gritties yourself. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what is an offshore customer experience team? An offshore experience team, is an organization that offers services to you as an extension of your company. The team is trained to handle customer inquiries, follow up on purchases, understand their problems, and resolve them as soon as possible. That is exactly what you want. You want all resolution done fast. Beyond that, you want it done by the right people. And it's important to note here that the offshore teams consist of trained personnel who've been doing this for a long time. They have received training on how to handle customers, solve their problems, handling installed base, the unsatisfied customers, also providing delightful customer experiences when customers interact with your business or vice versa. And because you may be the best in manufacturing, building software, logistics, or whatever business you specialize in, you may understand the customer requirements to build world class products for them. But after the purchase, what happens? Is that process completed? You're done? Do you have the expertise, time, resources to keep them engaged? Do you have people who are constantly in touch with them, saying, proactively calling them, not just waiting for a call with a problem to happen? They're maintaining the relationship. Are they nurturing them? Are they constantly trying to see if there is an opportunity to upsell, to cross-sell? That's what a customer experience person does, where the management is done by you, but the work is done by the team in India and Manila and any other country. They are the ones who will engage with your customers. They'll reach out, ask their opinions on their association with your brand, solve any issues they face. They'll inform you about the customer's problems and the best approach to handle it. In this way, you can retain your customers that you've already acquired by incurring a very small but specific cost. Certainly, you can increase the average order value by doing this, to be sure, at a very low rate. And this is where I should mention the customer expansion service. A CX team would leverage your existing customer base and urge them to explore additional new products from your company. They can be even helpful in finding you those beta customers that you so crave to start your product, or the first 5 users, or the first 20 users, because they have maintained this relationship, they are friends with them, they've engaged with them, they haven't just picked up the phone when there is a problem, right? So by increasing the lifetime customer experience, your business gets a high ROI from the expense you have incurred to acquire those customers in the first place. So you must be wondering, why do I need this to be offshore? Why can't we do it in the US? Why can't I just hire people within my company to do it? And believe me, a lot of companies have tried. A lot of companies that have come to us have tried this, and it has not worked because it's a tough job. It is poorly paid in this country, and to hire one person to do it, the same price, you can hire multiple people to do it, and then you have better coverage. You can have the customer experience people, customer service people, customer success people, and the expansion team. All of this can be done at a lower rate from outside. So cost efficiency is paramount. Setting up and training an in-house team can be a big drain on your financial sources. It's not only your financial resources, your HR resources, all the hiring, firing that gets involved with this, the high rate at which you will acquire these people and be able to retain them. It's not easy. It would be best to hire, in my opinion, this is what I did, and I offer this to others, to hire an offshore team to access a vast talent pool. A lot of them are highly educated. And they will come to you without incurring a huge cost to you, in your expenditure. And cost is always a deciding factor in choosing a customer management company. A company offering customer experience services to many businesses at the same time, excuse me, are able to offer the cost benefits to you. They can, the benefits of a large scale operation will be yours. So they are not, and it happens with everything, because I know we've been doing this for so long. Even the medical benefits we offer them, even the provident funds we offer them, because when you do it in a large scale, you can do it in a quicker way. You don't have to register, you don't have to work with the government of that organization. You're working with one company and they are providing all this for you. So offshoring is a very, very critical thing. And as you grow bigger, as you grow larger, you feel you want more control, there may be a strategic change, and then you can acquire them. That's not a problem, but you have to be careful about putting this in your contract. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Otherwise, it's considered a breach of contract if you go and hire somebody, because technically they're really working for the other company, not for you. And in the same way that I was talking about, you can effortlessly scale up and down your requirements. You pay for the services you use, and you keep the costs of operation under control. Another related benefit to this is that your technology improves. The technology you have is becomes good because these organizations already have the excellent benefits that they have realized from from acquiring the right CRM services, the all the technology, all the telephone skills that you need, telephone operating process, whatever you need to make a call center work well. And the processes are in place. You slip right in, you make your changes, they'll customize it to your requirements. But the technology is already there. You don't have to go acquire it. You don't have to get your own CRM. You don't have to get your own marketing automation. You don't have to do any of those. So it prevents you from losing an opportunity to follow what's happening to your customer base because you don't have a particular software, because these guys do. Hiring is not an issue for you. They hire you, they hire for you. You have to just give them very specific job descriptions. And to be honest with you, I would suggest that you have the last word in hiring, especially the higher level managers who you want to have a one-on-one relationship with. And here I'm talking about two things at the same time. One is that you hire people that you know. You may not hire every little admin that is hired in the company, but you should hire the major leads in the company. But you must develop a relationship at various levels in the organization. That is the way to uh, keep everything running in smoothly, and you are not you're not unaware of what is happening. A lot of times companies don't know what is going on. People have gone on, they've taken your clients away, they've started the business on the side. You don't want all of that to be happening. So work with a reputable company, make sure that they have the goodwill, they have a track record. And the final reason why offshoring is of critical importance is what I just talked about, the bot model, where you get somebody to build it for you. You learn the ropes, you figure out how this whole operation works, learn about the company, the offshore country that you've gone to, learn about the business, learn about the technologies you need, the people you need to hire, how to hire them. And once you've learned it from the operation that they have been doing on your behalf, you can transfer it in-house. And that is a very important part of, important reason why I recommend offshoring. Because by the time you acquire them and they become yours, they are fully trained, you've got a slew of people that have worked for you, and you can move on right ahead. And I'm saying this because, like I explained to you earlier, this is exactly how it went with me. I went into Manila, I went into India with different organizations that set up the systems for me, operated it. In India, they operated it for several years for me. In the Philippines, it was only for a year or so. Of course, pandemic hit and we were in a different mess, but that's another story. We were all in a mess. But we started out on our own, and it was much nicer because we could treat them better. We had a better relationship with the people that moved in with us. People who didn't want to work with us did not come. So, and now that the transfer has happened, I am offering that service to others, where I just explained to you this healthcare organization, the wellness folks for whom we built, operated, and just recently transferred. And I'm pretty sure that the couple others that I'm looking at who are at that point where they want us to, and usually this happens when they want a huge growth, and you kind of know that, okay, maybe now they're ready to, sort of take over the operation. But it's a wonderful idea for all of you, because I'm looking at the list of people who are attending today, and I see that Several of you have customer service backgrounds in your job titles, and maybe you're looking to offshore, maybe you're looking to expand, maybe you're looking to, start in-house, and you're debating that. And these are some of the things to explore. Talk to some people who are already doing, who are in the business. Talk to me, I can help you come to a decision. So why do you need a customer offshore team? An offshore team is required by you because you might need a call center. Call center agents represent your business and should be thoroughly trained to speak in the same voice you intend with your clients. And how do you do that? A management company will thoroughly understand the nature of your business, your target audience, their probable problems, uh, and the solutions you as a business are willing to offer them. They'll impart the required training to the offshore team to meet your customers' expectations or your expectations. The offshore team will gradually become an extension of your company. And that is exactly what you need. I know you've heard this before, that they work as an extension of your team, but there is some effort involved on your end also. And it's this setting up the expectations, making sure that they deliver to your expectations. And if they don't, then you need to make changes. So they'll impart the, like I said, they'll impart the training, and the offshore team will talk to customers on your behalf while you're focused on revenue generating activities. They are not generating revenue for you. They're only generating revenue from cross-selling, upselling. But you need to concentrate on revenue generation. This is not something you want to be involved in. If you have a great customer product, if you have a great software product or a healthcare product or a B2C product, you want to be focused on growing. You don't want to be focused on who's calling back, who's answering the questions, how to get them engaged continuously, because you need to focus on acquiring new customers. Best done by somebody who's been trained to do this over the years. You may need chat teams. Customers prefer solving their problems in real time with chats. And having a chat team in the US doesn't seem like a very productive thing to do, because a chat, being that the world is so global, people are all over the world and they may contact you at any old time. And it's only an offshore company that has teams running 3 shifts, which is what we do, and they can answer your questions anytime. I mean, most companies, offshore companies, have the ability to work 24 by 7. So we work weekends also. We work nights. We have 3 shifts running for our customer service companies. We have a client in the Middle East, and they have clients in Europe, they have clients in the US, they have clients in the East, Southeast. So having us in the mix makes it very easy for them, because we run 3 shifts for them, we do 24 by 7, and everybody is happy that way. Um, it helps build credibility and helps you build your brand loyalty. If people say, okay, I have this company, they answer questions 24 hours a day, and we are not talking to the American Airlines and the United Airlines of the world that are always offering these things. I'm talking about smaller companies, mid-sized companies, large-sized companies that have different divisions, have different requirements, and it's best that you do offer this. We offer it, and instead of you hiring people and having them work different hours, have it done in a time zone where it helps you. It helps them also. Um, like I said, you can simply outsource to support an offshore team and ensure that your customers are taken care of. Quick accessibility, prompt and correct uh, queries and questions around the clock. So finally, we come to the main crux of this webinar: the key strategies for setting up offshore teams. The way I have talked in a more conversational manner with giving you a lot of examples along the way, you probably know that why you're setting it up and why offshoring is important. But once you have taken a decision, how do you go about doing it? You have to set clear objectives. You must know why you want to set up this center. I talked about whether you need a call center, a chat center, a call support, around the clock, whatever. Before you go to an offshore team, your goals, your objectives must be clearly defined. Consider the problems that your customers are facing. Do they need a quick query question answered? Which area are you failing to deliver in? Do they want you to be present 24 by 7? You might have limited resources to offer your customers and prospects, and you can't offer around the clock availability. Based on these questions, you define what kind of offshore team you need. Location becomes very important. We've lost clients who don't want to be in a time zone in the in the southeast or in India. They want to be in a time zone where their managers are easily able to talk to them. So they will go to Mexico, they'll go to Costa Rica. Those are two other countries that you can go to. But there are limited limitations there. They've become very expensive. They don't have all the resources you need. Language can be a problem. These countries that I'm talking about in India and Manila, people speak very fluent English, and they all have a great affinity, especially the Manila folks, the Philippine folks have a great affinity for American lifestyle, American values, culture. So it's a very easy transition for them. So the location is very critical. The time zone more so. Be very careful before you pick because the time zone will become critical. And then the quality of the service. Choosing an outsourcing partner for customer experience will require a thorough evaluation of the company's resources, their recruitment process, their technology, what are they using, their data payment models, data security that they are offering, and other factors such as their fee structure, and of course, how expensive they are. That to me is a very important thing. Objectives, of course, you know, and you'll be able to figure it out. It's a question of, thinking about it clearly. But this is the part where you need to spend some time. I mean, when I say it's a very easy thing to do, it is easy to implement it. But of course, you do have to put in your effort. You do want a company that is performing well. They'll be a good partner for you. They have done this before. They know how to do it. They have the right technologies. They are honest. They have a proven track record. You must do some recommendations. You must do some visits to make sure that they are legitimate. And like I said, with Google, you can find companies that are doing very well and are very well known, like I did. And that'll be an easy way to do it. A company with a good track record will know the process of delivering the superior customer experience that you're going for. You're not doing it yourself. You want someone who's better at it than you are. And that's where you need to put in a little effort in identifying them. And then once you're with them, then you have to define the objectives you have for them. What is it that you're expecting from them? Interview as many of the personnel, like I said, as possible. Make sure that they understand what you're looking for, what you're seeking. And the third thing that becomes very important is training. The more you train, the better they'll perform. I'm not saying that you're training them and calling them into the US to do hours of weeks of training. I am talking about online training. I'm talking about occasionally you going there, training them, training the managers, training the trainers, so that the expectations are very high. I recommend that every 6 months you do a training session so that people remember what you asked for and what you expect from them and what your clients are expecting from you. And I can't say enough about tight supervision. You will have to make sure that you set up the processes in such a way that there is very good supervision on your end so that you know exactly what's happening at any given time. You've built your relationship, you've set the objectives, you have your own goals, you've picked the right company, you've hired the right people. Now it's time to make sure you've trained them, and now it's trying to make sure that they are delivering to what you asked for. And because you'll have these lines of communications open at different levels, you will have a better understanding of what's happening there. And believe me, all this that I'm talking about doesn't take more than a couple of people on your end, not even full time, to keep this going, to manage this process. And of course, we all know finally that assessment, evaluation, constant assessment, meeting the numbers, meeting the quality, meeting customer evaluation sheets, all of this is very important and can be very easily done. So I hope that I have given you enough information on why customer experience is important, why it is now a necessity, not a differentiator, why offshoring is important. Remember, we talked about the cost aspect and the unavailability of people here, and the keys to success, how you set the expectations, how you get them to do the things that you want to do. Uh, and then finally, let me tell you a little bit about my organization. I notice we have like 15 minutes and I want to save time for some questions. Um, so we are My Customer 360. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Markable Solutions, which is a lead gen company. And we were advised and asked by our clients to get into the customer service mode because we were nurturing their leads. And then they said, well, nurture our customers also. So that was the transition that got us in there. And of course, Manila is the hub for customer service. I'm sure all of you know about that, and some of you may actually be working with people in Manila who provide excellent customer service. They're very gentle, the way they speak, the way they talk. They're very aligned to how you're talking and speaking. So, very, very good experience there in Manila. We help businesses under Customer 360. We help businesses with customer service where we pick up the phone, we talk, we discuss what could be a problem and help them resolve it. We help them with onboarding. We help them with customer success after they've bought the product, after the onboarding is done, and that team has moved on. The customer success team moves in. They are the ones who are nurturing your clients. They are trying to figure out when it's time for renewal, especially with SaaS organizations. Renewals become so important that another manager doesn't come and decide to, instead of Salesforce, they go with Eloqua or something like that. So you have to be very careful, and this nurturing and help and making a good relationship and branding yourself helps in generating those invoices when it comes time to renew. And the third thing we do is customer expansion, where we do the cross-selling and the offshore and the cross-selling and the upselling. Because now we've kept in touch along the customer experience cycle, and we know that can be purchased by them, and we give feedback to the clients on what is happening with the customer company, of course. And it's always been very, very helpful and works both ways. We do all of this through our staff in the Philippines. Our staff there are highly English proficient, trained to each of our clients' needs, and comfortable with an all-American way of interacting. This model actually works for two different types of clients in a very proficient and cost-effective way. For those clients that have a customer success team in place, we act as a force multiplier. We strengthen your capabilities without having to add staff. So the added staff is offshore, and we supplement your efforts here in making sure that whatever you need gets done from there rather than from here. And for those who come to us, and that's mostly that we notice that we have, are those that have no customer success, no customer experience team. And for them, we provide an out-of-box model without you having to hire and manage a team. And we'll start it in what we call a quick start program. We found that the best way to begin with a new client is the quick start program. It's 45 days. It includes goal setting, training, initial customer outreach, engagement, and then an assessment period with the option of continuation or expansion after that. And this is designed to offer clients a rapid time to benefit without a large initial investment. And if any of you is interested in this, we'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. I am always advising companies who are starting to offshore. So if you need just to chit chat, happy to talk. If you want to start something, happy to discuss it with you. Before I do my concluding remarks and thank yous, Bharti, are there any questions that came up?
Hi, Reshma, that was indeed an insightful session. Thank you so much. And it was indeed an inspiring journey of yours. So I think stories of business leaders are made like this only. So definitely we have some questions coming up. Jessica needs to know what is the cost of your Quick Start program.
So this Quick Start program is a $7,000 program for 45 days. And just like I described to you, we will set the goals with you initially. We have the process in place so that you can quickly come up to speed. And with a very small investment of 7,000, we will add a lot of value and the program can get started. It will take us about a couple of weeks to get started. It'll go on for 45 days and we'll set the goals, we'll do the training, we will work with you, we'll do the initial customer outreach to your customers, we'll find out how they are performing, what they think of you. This is best done by a third party so that it's, we can tell you what the truth is. And then if you want larger engagement where you want us to step in and do some of it, do some of the customer experience management, we are happy to do that. I hope that
Yes,
answers your question, Jessica.
Yeah, of course, the second opinion does help. Another question that comes up, they ask like, do you serve B2B companies or tech clients with customer services?
Oh, absolutely. We service both tech and other industries. We do a lot of healthcare. Since we have one client, we catapulted and got some more. Tech is our base. I live in Silicon Valley, so all my contacts are here, and people know us and know about my customer 360 and Markable Solutions. So we do a lot of tech stuff. We have also started doing some B2C stuff, which is very exciting. And it's not B2C as in a cosmetic or something, but a little more professional stuff. But it is contacting clients, not in a business, but in their home environment.
Okay, thank you, Reshma. And let me see if we can take up one more question.
Okay.
Okay. Let me check. Okay, Jessica has another question. Like the pilot program you're talking about runs for 45 days. So when can we see results coming up? Like,
well, in 45 days, you'll see the results. And during the process, there will be small milestones that we will meet, and you will start seeing some results right there. But when you commit, you commit to the 45 days.
Okay, the process starts like it is in progress, right?
Yes, it'll start the day we sign up.
Okay, that's all we have.
Okay, thank you.
Now we can take up more questions. And yes, Reshma?
Yes, I was saying We have another 9 minutes to go. It's best to let people go. Everyone is busy, so if there are no more questions, I would like to thank you all for attending our session today. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. Tell us whether you enjoyed the session or not, how we can improve. I hope you have gained some valuable insights into setting up an offshore customer experience team. As a follow-up, each of you will receive a recording of this webinar. You'll also be sent a link to request a meeting to discuss the Quick Start program or any other customer topics that you may have. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and have a great afternoon. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
team.
Reshma.
Together.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for joining us here. Thank you, Reshma. It was a great session. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.